Welcome back to the Landlords Workshop, the podcast that help you protect your properties, your profit, and peace of mind. Today we are demystifying a piece of equipment that most landlords either overlook or misunderstand entirely. You know what that is? It's the transfer switch. You have heard of it. You might even have one in your property and not really understand how it works. But here's the truth. Not having a transfer switch during a power outage can cost you thousands or even someone's life. So in this episode, I'm giving you the full breakdown. What is a transfer switch? Why do you need one as a landlord? What happens when you don't have one? How do you choose the right one? And of course, how to use it safely and legally. And as always, I will be telling you real stories from real landlords. So you learn from other people's mistake instead of your own. Let's break it down. A transfer switch is an electrical switch that safely transfers power from the utility grid to your generator and back again when the grid is restored. Simple, right? Here's what it really does. Prevents backfeeding, which can electrocute utility workers and damage your generator. Limits power only to the circuit you selected, so you are not overloading your generator. Isolate your property from the grid so you stay code compliant and insurance approved. Think of it as a security guard for your property's electrical system. Let me tell you about Mike. Mike owns a 4-family brownstone in Brooklyn. After a Hurricane Ida knocked out power, he bought a generator the next morning and ran extension cords through windows to power hallways lights and boiler. What happened? One of the cords shorted behind tenant's space heater. The breaker didn't trip. The wall caught fire. One entire apartment was gutted. Cost of damage is $38,000. Insurance refused to pay. Why? No transfer switch. Not up to code. The fire report even called unauthorized power supply as the cause for fire. Now, you might be thinking, all right, I get it, but what kind should I install? Let's walk through the options. Manual transfer switch. Install near your panel. Flip it by hand when the power goes out. Great for portable generators. Most cost effective and landlord friendly. Secondly, you have your automatic transfer switch, which is known as ATS. Use with standby generator. Switches to backup power automatically. High-end option. More common in larger multifamily buildings or high-end rentals. It costs a lot of money to buy and to install. Third, you have this interlock kit. Less expensive, works by locking out the main breaker when the generator breaker is on. Here's a tip for you. If you manage under 10 units and rely on portable generators, a manual transfer switch is the most flexible, code compliant, and safe option. Let me share about Sophia, a landlord in upstate New York. She owns a duplex. After a blizzard caused a 3-day power outage, tenants were without heat and couldn't run space heaters due to no power. Even though Sophia dropped off portable heaters and a generator, the tenant filed a complaint and withheld rent, claiming unsafe condition. Sophia could have run the boiler and the hallway light if she had a manual transfer switch installed. But instead, she lost rent for 2 months and had a settlement in court. It's a simple equation. Transfer switch equals tenant comfort equals fewer complaints. All right, let's talk strategy. What should a landlord actually power during an outage? Start with these essential circuits: boiler or furnace, hallway, common lighting, sump pump, fridge, freezer, units or common areas, security cameras, Wi-Fi, modem or router. Select outlets for phone charging, fans, etc. Do not try to power everything at once. You will overload your generator or cause equipment failure. Here's another tip. Label your circuits clearly. Laminate a cheat sheet and hang it next to your transfer switch. A landlord in New Jersey City tried to DIY his switch with a generator feeding directly into the dryer's outlet. Yes, you heard that right. His logic, it works. Power is flowing. The result, he fried the electrical panel, his generator, and nearly started an arc fire. PSEG issued a code violation and his insurance dropped him. Lesson learned here. Don't MacGyver your electrical system. Invest in a proper transfer switch. Let's talk numbers because this is a business, right? Total cost breakdown. So manual transfer switch kit is about $300 to $600. Inlet box and cord is going to cost you $150 to $250. Then you have your electrician install, might cost you $500 to $1,000. So totaling from $1,200 to about $1,800. Compare that to one insurance denial, $10,000 plus, one fire repair, $20,000 plus, one lawsuit from an injured tenant, priceless. A $1,500 install saves you tens of thousands in the long run. So here's the common questions that I get. Do I need a permit to install a transfer switch? Usually, yes. Licensed electricians will pull it out for you. Can tenant access the transfer switch? No. Only you or your licensed maintenance crew should touch it. Can I use one generator for multiple buildings? No. Each building should have its own system. You can't legally run cords across property. Lastly, can I do the install myself? Not recommended unless you are licensed or understand your state electrical code. So let's bring it home. Transfer switch aren't just a nice extra. They are legal, safety, and financial must-have for any serious landlords. They prevent fire, they prevent lawsuit, they make your rental units resilient and your tenants comfortable when disaster hits. Thank you for joining me on this episode of the Landlords Workshop. Make sure to subscribe and share this with your landlord friends. And leave a comment if you had a close call or power failure nightmare. And remember, every dollar you invest in safety today, save 10 tomorrow.